Hey guys, it is Stephanie and you have the overhead view today. We are doing a last minute Mother's Day DIY and I have so many ideas about this project that you could change things around to make it a little more colorful. But what I'm going to show you, the method is going to be the same. All right, so this project is going to involve, yes, some sunflowers because I'm actually going to go with kind of a fallish look. It's going to involve some spray paint. And I used the Blossom White Satin acrylic paint. So I prepped them by spray painting them with our spray paint prior to going live because obviously I needed my jars to dry first. But if you decide to do this project, I also wiped down my glass jars with an alcohol rub just so that the paint would adhere to it much nicer. So those are done. We're also going to need some paint brushes. We're going to use this little dot. These little sponges that are round. I love these things. These are so much fun. And just two paintbrushes. One has like it goes from a wider to a thinner tip, and then a more fine paintbrush. The colors that I'm going to be using are two different tones of brown, and so I'm going to use a dark brown and a lighter brown, a yellow, and I'm actually going to use a little bit of orange in this. I have another color of yellow, but I'm not sure that we're going to use this or not. We'll see. We'll play around with it. Those are the things that we're going to be using in today's project. I promise it is a very, very simple, but watch what we're going to do. And we're going to start out with some of the lighter shade of brown and use that. And take our round sponge brush and dip that in our paint. Actually, might need just a little bit more paint there. So I'm going to go about center. This is the side of the jar that doesn't have any writing on it. And I'm going to go about center in this jar and take my sponge brush and just give it a little turn. Can y'all see that? Just a little turn. And it causes the little bubbles. Isn't that neat? Let me zoom in a little bit more for y'all. All right. That's step one. Step two is we're going to take some of our yellow and give it a good dose on my paper plate here. Let me go ahead and rinse out that brush for right now. So we're going to take this brush that has like the tip on it, the tip that becomes narrow on the end, and we're actually going to make a sunflower. So I'm going to lay my brush kind of sideways in the paint. And to do a practice one, I'm just going to take and push it on the plate and then add more pressure and make a petal. That's all we're going to do. Just one side of the paintbrush. So load your paintbrush, and it's okay if this is wet. It actually helps with the effects. So I'm going to lay that right there near the edge of our circle and give us a little petal. And I'm okay with getting into the brown. We're just going to do that all the way around. What I was thinking is this would make good daisies too. The same technique would make great daisies. So if you wanted to do this quick DIY project, using different colors, imagine what this would look like in maybe some lavenders or pink or blues. You could actually conform this to be whatever color you wanted it to be for your home. Now, you know that or your mom's home or whoever, You see how I'm keeping the yellow paint kind of on the edge of our brown circle here? And that keeps the petals about the same length all the way around. All right, couple more petals. And we have gone all the way around. Check that out. Check it out. All right, now, again, doesn't have to be dry. I'm going to take the darker brown, and I just need a little bit of it, and that paintbrush that is real fine tipped. And I'm going to take and add a little dark brown kind of in the petals themselves, and just do some real fine lines. All right, now I'm going to take a little bit of orange. And the reason I want to incorporate a little bit of orange is because my sunflower has a little bit of orange to it. So that will bring in some orange with this too. So let's just take a little dab of orange. And bring some orange into our petals. Now, if you feel like it's too dark, you can actually go back in with a little bit of yellow and blend those in just a little bit. Doesn't take much. Now we're going to take our fine tip again. Whoops, I lost it here. And some of that dark brown. And we're just going to make little seeds in the center of my sunflower. Just see. Can you guys see the difference in the browns? Just a couple of shades darker than my base brown. So again, if you can imagine this in whatever color choices you want, this could very easily be like a Gerber daisy. Same kind of process with maybe a green center, a darker or a lighter green center with darker green dots, and the petals on whatever color you wanted to paint. But we're not done. This is only step one with our jar. And look, I got a little orange paint on it. I'll get that off later. So now that we have our jar painted, all right, some additional things that we're going to use because we're done with the paint is we're going to take a little bit of raffia and we're going to use that with our jar. But I also brought out one of my favorite ribbons. I find it's this little miniature like check in black and white. So now, of course, my paint is still wet, so I'm going to be very careful because I don't want to keep you guys like forever. But imagine we have this on our jar. Let's take some of our raffia. Well, actually, let me take a piece of this and see if I'm going to like it or not. And I'm just going to do one all the way around, and then and do just a little miniature bow. A little miniature bow. This truly is one of my favorites. And I'm going to use a piece of that raffia to tie my bow. So I'm going to use my raffia to tie up my bow with. And I'll trim that down here in a minute. We'll tie that into a nice little knot. So what I'm going to do is take this and I'm going to glue it around here. So that's what I need my hot glue for. So I'm going to put some glue right here and attach my ribbon All right, so we have our ribbon around the top. And then I'm going to add our little bow. So I'm just going to put a spot of glue on the back of our bow. And I'm going to do that a little off to the side so that it doesn't interfere with our sunflower. Look at that. So far, we're not even done yet. We're not even done because now we're going to take some sunflowers that I pulled off the shelf in my store. And look. And then I also grabbed one of these fall gourds and pumpkin picks with the raffia in it and thought that might be a nice little addition. Let me stick this. So without this, this actually looks like a really cute summer piece. When we add this, it now turns it into a more fallish piece. Let me bend him down a little. Oh my goodness. All right, now I have to try and lay this sideways so y'all can see it. Look at that cutie patootie. All right, y'all, have a great day and I will see you soon.